What if Nazi Germany sent secret agents onto American soil to cripple the war effort from within? What if one of those agents betrayed his mission before it even began? This is the story of George John Dasch, the saboteur who exposed Hitler's plan of destruction. Stay with us as we uncover a tale of espionage, betrayal, and the strange fate of a man caught between two worlds. Let's dive in. Stay with us until the end. George John Dasch was born in 1903 in Germany. Raised in a modest household, restless and ambitious, he sought opportunity beyond Europe's borders. As a young man, he emigrated to the United States, working odd jobs and learning the rhythms of American life. He served briefly in the U.S. Army, gaining a familiarity with its structure and discipline. For a time, he tried to build a life in America, marrying and working in New York, but trouble followed him and his marriage crumbled. By the 1930s, Dasch drifted back toward Germany, carrying with him the experience of both nations. He became caught in the rise of Nazi power, where loyalty was demanded and dissent was dangerous. Dasch, however, was no true believer in Hitler's vision. Yet he could not avoid the pull of the Reich once war erupted. His knowledge of America made him valuable to German intelligence. And so, Dasch's double life began to take shape. In 1942, Hitler approved a bold plan of sabotage against the United States. It was named Operation Pastorius, after Francis Daniel Pastorius, a German settler in early America. The mission's goal was to destroy factories, railroads, power plants, and spread fear across the U.S. 8 German agents were selected for the task. They trained in explosives and covert tactics before being sent across the Atlantic. The group was split into 2 teams of 4. One team would land in New York, the other in Florida. Each carried explosives, detonators, and stacks of American cash. George John Dasch was chosen as leader of the New York team. On June 12, 1942, U-Boat 202 surfaced off Long Island's Amagansett Beach. In the darkness, Dasch and his men rowed ashore, dressed in German uniforms to avoid execution if captured immediately. They buried their uniforms and explosives in the sand, changing quickly into civilian clothes. Operation Pastorius had officially landed in America. From the start, Dasch wrestled with the mission. He had lived in America and felt no hatred for it. He doubted both the Nazi cause and his comrades' ability to succeed. Almost immediately, the plan began to unravel. On the beach, a young U.S. Coast Guardsman named John Cullen stumbled upon them. Dasch tried to bribe him with cash, urging him to forget what he saw. Cullen pretended to accept, but reported the encounter as soon as he returned to base. Dasch knew their cover could not hold for long. Instead of fleeing, he made a shocking decision. He would betray the mission and confess everything to US authorities. In his mind, this choice would save America and his own life. It was a gamble between execution and redemption. Leaving his team behind, Dasch traveled to Washington, D.C. He called the FBI, insisting he had urgent information of national importance. At first, agents thought he was a crank or a spy trying to bluff. But when Dasch revealed details only an insider could know, the truth sank in. He surrendered his identity as a German saboteur. He described the entire operation in meticulous detail. He named his fellow agents, their training, and their targets. The FBI was stunned by the depth of his knowledge. Within days, the Bureau launched raids to capture the other saboteurs. All 8 were quickly rounded up, thanks to Dasch's betrayal. The Nazi plan collapsed before a single bomb was planted. The captured agents, faced swift military justice. 6 were executed in the electric chair. Only Dasch and 1 accomplice were spared, their sentences commuted for cooperating. For Dasch, survival came at a heavy price. In Germany, he was branded a traitor, despised as a Judas who doomed his comrades. In America, he was distrusted, remembered not as a hero, but as a spy who turned late. He had saved lives, yet earned little gratitude. Many Americans saw him as guilty, regardless of his confession. The families of the executed saboteurs cursed his name. The FBI used his story as propaganda, but gave him no lasting protection. Released after the war, Dasch hoped for a new start, but neither Germany nor America welcomed him fully. He lived quietly in Germany, shunned by both nations. His betrayal had saved America, but cost him any homeland. He died in 1992, remembered only in footnotes of espionage history. Operation Pastorius revealed the weakness of Nazi sabotage efforts. It also revealed the power of betrayal to decide the fate of missions. George John Dasch was no hero, yet no simple villain either. He betrayed his comrades, but in doing so, spared America from sabotage. His name remains a paradox, the saboteur who saved his enemy. This was the Judas Files. Subscribe for more stories where loyalty breaks and history changes forever.